then I will start playing in a bit. If there's anyone watching after the fact, sorry for the silence. I'm just sending out the link for this stream to a few people, and I will start playing in just a bit. So yeah, feel free to skip to whenever that starts. Hello! Hi, Rainy. Okay, now that I've got a person here, I'm going to start the game. This is Furi, which is a game I wanted to spotlight because I love it a lot. It came out a couple of years ago, a few years ago actually, I think. It's interesting. It's a really good, as you can probably tell just from the screenshot and the music. It's heavily 80s inspired. There's a lot of neon, a lot of synthesizers, and it's like a hack and slash game. And I enjoyed it a lot. So I've played it a lot, so that's all about. But I'm gonna start a new game, and I'm gonna do it on that difficulty. So the plot will become apparent as the game goes. It does. The music slaps. It's amazing. I've listened to the soundtrack on Spotify so many times of this game. That's the first thing you notice.
You were a weapon, a bringer of death. And now, you're nothing. I will keep on killing you.
And if you're confused about the story, don't worry. Everyone is. It's a very
your future.
Ambiguous story.
Eternity of slow, painful deaths.
Which starts in an interesting way.
I hear thunder. Pitter patter. Time to wake up.
I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying right here with you.
Shake your head. Nod your head. It's time to go. See what they did to you? Pull yourself together. Get out of prison. Kill the jailer. Fight for your freedom.
So yeah, basically there's your setup. You've been in prison for some reason. Take out your jailers and
Jailer is the key.
fight for freedom.
And you'll be free.
I'll stop talking once the actual game starts. It's a game with a lot of tranquil moments where during these tranquil moments you just kind of, walk through these environments with different camera angles, and I can turn auto walk on, but I prefer not to. So yeah, and you get ready, and then you go into these. Yeah, I know how to do that, but I don't want to.
Every step you've taken from that cell, I'll make you regret. You listen to me, and you listen good. You'll never escape.
So it looks like I've got a few places to fight
I
to.
swear I'll put you right back in your cell. There's an easy way and a hard way. You choose. Excellent choice.
So now I start fighting. This isn't a long game. I'm probably going to finish this in one sitting. So but yeah, it's a basically both a hack and slash and a twin stick shooter where you've got a gun and you've got a sword and you have to fight a series of bosses. So you alternate between like full arenas and smaller like close combat bits, and you can tell when to parry because the you hear that noise and the I got a perfect parry there, and their weapon flashes. So
you try to get up, so I can hurt you real
and then a few of these types of bosses. And one thing you'll immediately notice, and one thing you will keep noticing throughout the game, the music slaps. It's amazing. There's a few different controls. After this tutorial, I'll get to fight like for real. And yeah, basically it's a game where all the bosses have unique and distinct personalities, and they all have different weapons, and they all have different fighting styles, and it's very interesting. It's very good. Oh, I completely failed to dodge that. So yeah, you get a dodge button, which, yeah, you can do that. Most of the bosses have similar mechanics, but they use them in all sorts of different and interesting ways, and they are very fun to figure out. I've played these games quite a lot, so I know how to counter most of the bosses, but that doesn't make it mean it's going to be easy, because it's not an easy game, and you'll see how more difficult it is when I get a bit further on.
Get serious. Those shocks in the cell, they really hurt, don't they? Well, that was nothing. I'm gonna teach you some real pain. Do you really think you can beat me?
Yeah. This game does sometimes require some concentration, but I will try and keep talking about most of it because it is a very fun game, and I love the aesthetic of the game so much. You'll probably hear me say that a lot because
You're going back.
I love the aesthetic, I love the music, I love the visuals. It's all very bright and very neon and very, very 80s inspired. So I'm really tell why I like it a lot. That's my jam. And you get health back by parrying enemy attacks.
Need to lock you up again.
And also there are some projectiles you can destroy that release like health packs. And as you go further on in the boss fight, they unlock all sorts of interesting new moves, like that one. Thankfully, you're very mobile in the game. You can very quickly move to anywhere in the arena.
Yeah, let's do this. Come back here. I will take you down.
Completely missed that back down here. Mostly takes up the option of either parrying them or dodging them.
No way.
Or just, not doing so.
You're gonna take some putting back together when I'm done with you.
I guess I have to get more interesting and more varied and more difficult to avoid attacks as the fight goes on. Oops. Almost hit me there.
Come back here. I will take you down.
That one. Nope. Change the camera settings. Which camera settings are you talking about? Oh, I have an invincible mode apparently. I can turn down the brightness. Would that help? Sorry, I know there's a bit of a delay on the chat. How would you like me to not panning as much? I'm not sure how you mean by that. Sorry, so I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. Let's see, what can I do? So, gotta go to Discord. Okay, not a problem. I will keep playing once I get something sorted out. So it can be a lot. This game, it's quite intensive. Probably should have thought of that beforehand. So just playing around in the settings a bit. Okay, I'm going back to the game now.
I'm gonna smash you to pieces. No regen from this.
Push back. There we go. Yeah, as you can probably see, it is, slightly unfortunately, a very fast-paced game, which is, I enjoy, but it can be a bit much. There we go. This particular fight does feature a lot of visuals, because like lightning and all sorts of flashing things and such happening. It's a bit less. Some of the other segments of the game are a bit less intense. Ignoring this bit because this is quite a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of effects and there's a lot going on in all of these fights. There's a lot. Oh, no, simple. I forgot that side. And yeah, each fight has like this ending segment. It has like the final part of each fight is this. That's too far forward there. This absolutely crazy mess of lots and lots and lots of bullets snorting.
I'm gonna kill you.
And then lots of these bits. And basically you will survive for a while. Survive for a while as they launch all sorts of crazy attacks at you. And then at the end they'll become vulnerable and then you take them out. Light bang. Bang. And done. And that's the first boss. Bit of a cape panic and clipping through the hand there, but hey.
You will be broken. You will go back to your cell.
Yeah, you deserve that. Yeah, you definitely deserve that.
Bravo! Excellent! What a thrill! Not your first time, right? Anyway, the good news, we're one step closer to freedom. The bad news, there's more out there waiting for us.
Surprising nobody, there's more to
But
it.
don't worry, I know them. I can help. Believe me, what's waiting at the end of all this is so worth the trouble. You and me, we're in the same boat now. Now let's get the hell out of here. Way down there lies a free world. A world of peace and light, where you're free as the wind. And you know what? We're going to get there.
And yeah, purple rabbit head guy could just teleport. Like, they never bother explaining why, but then they never bother explaining why most of the things in this game happen. Which, you know, I quite like that storytelling style. It's just, you know, this is what you've got. Get on with it. And it's a very beautiful and very, I love this game. I keep saying that whenever I'm doing anything. I keep just saying, I love this game. So yeah, here's a new interesting area. Every area is very different. It has very different.
I'll tell you what I know on the way.
Different new locales.
But don't expect all the answers. It's all about what a man does.
Well, this guy monologues to you. His character is the character is literally called the Voice. It's what he does.
That, my friend, is a prison. A prison within a prison. A very clever trick.
Yo, dog, I heard you like... I remember how old that meme is. That's an old meme. I feel old now. Also, not that clever, it's just
a prisoner have a lot in common. She turned up one day, destroyed everything in her wake, and then, bam! She got caged.
Everyone's so edgy looking, then you have this kind of literal rabbit mask. Yeah,
You're
not wrong. I love the character designs in this game. Like, the character designs are very varied. Some of them are quite on the nose, but they're all very good. And the next character I meet has a very interesting design. It's I think I've showed it off on the Discord before, but it's object heads.
She tried to tear through those walls so many times. But they
I love
just
that
kept
reaction.
growing back around her.
Because you just have that happen.
It drove her completely insane. Enraged. She will hunt anything and rip it to pieces.
And I'm gonna get fight heads.
Some jailer, right? But you and me, we know that being locked up fucks you up inside.
And this single F-bomb in this entire game, they just shoved it in there. Like, I'm not kidding, they don't swear again in this game. I don't even know why it's there.
That's why we did.
They just decided,
That's why
for no reason, we're going to have the character swear right here, and never going to do it again.
That's
Who knows why?
Our story doesn't end like hers.
I don't get it either. It just sort of happens and then doesn't happen again. Yeah, it just sort of happens. Right, in we go. And now we get a scene straight out of a horror movie. It's not that bad, but like, it's definitely different atmosphere to what you get for the rest of the game. Here we go, we've got an object head, which makes an interesting opponent. This is an opponent that especially gets absolutely no context. Like, I mean, you get the context of, you know, she's in the prison for this reason, but why she looks like this, why she does what she does, absolutely no idea. Now, and she fires giant lasers at you, which is great fun. And yet there's masses of walls, and you can blow them up, and they grow back around you, which is actually does make for a very interesting boss arena, especially since she keeps running away to around straight into that wall. Does keep running away from me. There we go. I used to be good at this game, and then I actually haven't played it in a while, so that would explain why I'm not doing that great right now. There we go. Oh, just run out to avoid do that. If I run out of that bar of health, I basically got to start the segment of the fight again. But I can get that back well, actually no I can't, but I can get health back, but once I lose one of these full health bars, I've got to start the segment again, so I've lost that round and I can't get it back, so... The counter is easily distracted by just hitting the walls and getting her to hit it back. I'm not sure why, but, you know, it's a thing. And I keep missing. Just about avoided that one. Lots of boats. You can deflect these bullets back, but it requires very precise timing and doesn't do that much damage, so... There we go. Oh, yeah, I messed up the timer on that one. Oh, well, happens. Yeah, and that one too. Lots of lasers flying absolutely everywhere. Like that one. Gotcha. Boom! There we go. And yeah, this is an interesting boss because, like, throughout the fight, she frees more and more of herself and uses more and more weapons, and it's very interesting. It's a very interesting boss and how it evolves, how it changes its fighting stuff throughout the game, but consistently has giant lasers to fire at you because, you know, that's a universal concept. And of course, I've got relatively large lasers to fire back. And I messed up the timing on that one. And that one too. Bang. That's 4 hits. Another 4. No. Yeah. That hit me. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that attack comes really quickly. It's difficult. It's a bit more difficult to parry because it comes very quick after the last one. You gotta get the timing down. There we go. And then you can counter. Like, a lot of this game is just learning the timing and trying not to be distracted by the visuals because there's a lot. And, oh yes, I forgot to mention you can actually charge your dodge, which the game itself never tells you. A little bit annoying, but hey. Gotcha. Come back there. Oh. All these characters have some very interesting and very varied movesets, which requires learning the timing and learning their tells, and basically having quick reactions to the game warning you that the attacks are coming as well. Oh, and this bit's an interesting bit because you've got to wait for a bit for the boss fight. It's called the Strap. I'm not sure why. All the bosses do have names. The last one was actually called the Chain. I forgot to mention that. But you never actually find them out until the credits, where you find out like all their names. Oh. There we go. Just about avoided that. And yeah, when they're glowing orange like that, it means that they're immune to gunfire, which just makes it a bit more interesting. I've got lots of bullets left me. There we go. Lots of the game, as you can see, lots of the game is about countering and just learning. Oh. I ran straight into that one. Then dodge it and I ran straight into it. Oh, he's got you anyway. Ah, just about avoided that one. That was close. Oh, that's a laser, not a melee attack. Avoid that. Gotcha. And now we're on the final phase. Which again involves lots and lots and lots of lasers and lots of bullets. Some of these I can avoid by hiding behind the walls, others I cannot, because the walls will eventually get destroyed. The section these does not do any damage whatsoever, but it's much easier than trying to dodge them because, as you can see, there's a lot of bullets. There's always so many bullets. It does become bullet hell at points in the game. And that's a very big laser that she's going to keep swinging at me, and I'm going to keep running into. Apparently. That's that one. Dodge. That's that one, and it gets faster, and faster, and faster. And done. Bang! There we go. And now she's going to keep shooting me a lot. Like lots and lots of lasers. And again, it just gets faster. And then she has to hit me with any attack. And done. That's that boss fight over. These fights are great. I love them. They're such great fun. They're very high tension though because you don't have a lot of health. And a couple of mistakes can lead to you having to repeat segments. And there we go. That's another boss fight done.
Well done.
Thank you.
You put her out of her misery.
Yeah, these bits before and after the boss fights are a bit more chill, thankfully. You can only walk this fast, there's no other way of doing it.
She was so wild, so they put her in a cage. Then you came along and they did even worse. Way worse. It all went so wrong. But we're going to make things right again.
By killing a bunch of people. Won't she have the big laser on her head? I don't know. Honestly, it's just sort of there. I've never really questioned it, if I'm honest. It's just sort of there. It's just sort of part of her, I guess. Now this area is a bit more chill. It's a bit more serene. Thankfully, it's a bit. It's not quite as much. It's still beautiful because this game's still absolutely beautiful all the way through.
Can you feel it? It's like a dream. The breeze, the peace. Feels like we could take off and leave this place behind us.
I love the windmill too. It's really nice. It's just nice that it's there.
But you know better. Nothing is what it seems. We're stuck here, and the real world is somewhere else, down there.
I like the camera angles in this section because they just go everywhere. You kind of walk everywhere in all sorts of directions, and you can never tell quite what's like where's down and where's up, which is fun. I really like games and areas of this that mess with gravity, because it just looks fun. It just looks like it just looks nice. The music, of course, does help. I say while talking over it.
The old man coming up. There's more to him than meets the eye.
Wait, he's a transformer?
A master of time, so they say.
Ah.
But if he's such a master, if he saw it all coming, why didn't he do something about it? Why didn't he stop it from happening? Or at least warn me? But look where we ended up.
Who does the soundtrack? The soundtrack's actually from a bunch of different people. But what I'm going to do, it is all on Spotify, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to link it on the Discord. Because it is an absolutely amazing soundtrack. And I love it a lot.
He'll try to play it cool. Easy for him, he chose to be here. But we are definitely not cool with this. We are getting out of here. Time to move on. Go cross his path, my friend. The jailer is the key.
Welcome, stranger. I've been looking forward to this moment.
I love he's just chilling there with headphones on. Like, that's me most days as well. Like, I'm normally wearing more clothes.
But not how far you would get. I am glad you made it to me. Time is a picture in motion through eternity. When you appeared,
I'm going to say something in a few seconds later because of the delay. I just see a key smashing the I just see a key smashing the in the chat. It's hilarious.
I'm here to make my clocks tick again. I can't kill you, but I can remove you from my here and now, capture you and bring you back until the next cycle.
So yeah, here's the next boss. He starts with a bunch of shields, and if I shoot them, they shoot back at me. So I can easily make there be a lot of bullets on the screen. Oh yeah, and he also shoots very large streams of that at me.
You live under the illusion of control. Abandon the fight.
Oh.
It is written.
Sorry, my controller's running out of power. Sorry for the interruption. I am just going to plug my controller in because I forgot to charge it before this stream because I'm a fool. And I'm back. Sorry about that. Ah, hello, Russell. I'm only fighting myself because you're shooting my... I forgot that. I keep forgetting those are coming. Every time. Hello, Russell. Yes, I'm playing Furi. We can pick the fact to shoot them for a D&D session. You're valid. So yes, Russell, I am playing Furi. It is an 80s inspired hack and slash where I fight a bunch of bosses, and it's incredibly beautiful, and there's a lot happening at any given time, so... Currently I'm shooting a bunch of shields, and they're shooting back at me. Grab that health. And I always forget those are coming, and forget to get out of the way.
I see your future.
Avoiding that. I want that health. That was not worth it because I took a hit getting it. Every time it does that, I can make this significantly easier for myself. I mean, it is Fury, but considering that one of the lead characters is wearing a big purple fursuit head, like, I mean, you're valid?
You live under the illusion of control, abandoned in the night.
It's faster to just shoot. It's faster to just shoot them like this, but it's also more dangerous because it will shoot more things back at you. And gotcha.
With experience comes perspective.
That weapon is far too big for this character. You just made a fair point. Ow, avoid that. Ow, avoid all the attacks, and that here as well. No, I can't miss it. I'm really not doing very well here. I'm putting myself in more danger than I need to, really. And I keep getting to dodge. Yeah, I know. I'm not very good at this. Is he hiding in the TARDIS? Well, I mean, he's hiding on top of the TARDIS, but essentially, when he changes colour, the more I shoot it.
I cracked in the shell, but can you find it twice?
Can I indeed? No. Running. Oh. There you go.
Make every second count.
Gotcha. Bang. Terrible dancing vibes. And I lost that one.
Was meant to be.
So yeah, I've got to start that segment again, unfortunately, because I died. Because I got hit too much. Please blast Caramel dancing over the street. I would if I knew how. I could probably play it. If I figure out how to play it from my PS4, I will blast Caramel dancing, or I can just blast it from my laptop so that it gets picked up by the microphone next to me.
It's not looking good.
It would be fun. I love how Raiden had the same reaction to that from when I suggested in the Spyro stream that maybe I should do it all in Uwu speed.
I cracked in the shell, but can you find it twice?
Already pretty good. Pretty good. Russell, this music slaps.
Make every second count.
There we go. Avoid all those attacks, take up some health, and take them out. Also, if I shoot here, it just